Dark Knights of Steel issue 5, Tom Taylor writing, Yasmin Putri on the art, and well, I guess we're going to hear Matt like
Tom Taylor cannot help himself, can he?
Matt.
Every time he does an alternate book.
Look, this is a book of two stories, or of two Matts.
There's the Poison Ivy loving Matt, and there's the Superman loving Matt.
Yeah, and Poison Ivy Matt is like, yeah, this is great.
Oh, Poison Ivy Matt, I'm sure, is ecstatic. The fact that this romance between her and Harley here is presented the way it is, where Queen Ivy is like out in the forest and she's protecting the castle and stuff because she cares about Harley. And she wants Harley to come and live with her in the forest. But Harley's like, no, I need to go and protect my world. But I'll visit. And it's all whatever.
I don't want to live outside. That's all I can think with Harley. It's like, there's a room. We could go stay in there.
Yeah. So you got that. But then you have the other side of this. Well, just a side note as well is that, this idea, and I think we speculated about this at one point, that maybe Zala was impersonated when she murdered Jefferson's son. But
right, who else could it be?
But right now, like, she's outright, like, I don't want to say plain dumb, because
she's claiming that she has no recollection of any of this happening.
She has no idea she did this, which
it's possible, or I'd say it's possible she's just bullshitting.
Well, yeah, but I also was like, okay, well, we saw what happened with the Green Man, and maybe magic and mind control. Like, I'm thinking like Max Lord stuff.
That's maybe. Right, which is what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't believe her, because right now I'm inclined to believe Zala and that she's telling Diana the truth.
Yeah, there's also shapeshifters,
right? Ruling out the possibility.
There's shapeshifters in DC, so I mean, there's plenty of reasons that could explain it.
But they also seem to have her powers. Although, it could have been Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter.
A word version of that.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this version of Shazam,
Yeah, so worth mentioning that detail. The other part, though, is that Bruce is going to tell Clark about, and it's not even really Clark, you know what I mean? It's just Kal-El here. But he's going to tell him about the kryptonite, and has to reveal that he's also his brother, right? the sheriff father. And he's a bit nervous about it. He sort of hangs his head down, and turns out Kal-El in this universe is a bit of a dick, because he immediately just stabs Bruce with the kryptonite and says, nope, this is our place to rule, there can be no challengers. Flies him up into the sky and then lets him drop to the ground. And
to be found by none other than the Kents.
To be found by the Kents, who are now going to take in a adult Bruce Wayne who has been betrayed by effectively an evil Superman.
So, I trust Taylor a lot. I know he loves Superman. So, and
he just loves telling evil Superman stories, doesn't he?
I mean, this was. Do you know what this was for me? This was the same feeling I had an issue or two ago when they introduced. I don't even remember it now. What was it? It was the Joker was also. Was also Lex Luthor, or Alexander Luthor, and was also a Green Lantern, right? That's the same. The feeling I had when I read that page is the same feeling I had when the Kents finding a Bruce Wayne who was stabbed by kryptonite and is now going to be adopted by the Kents as an adult
to overthrow an evil Clark or an evil Kal-El.
Yeah, this is the same. Like, there's like, this is just every idea just smooshed into a blender, and
I kind of love it though.
And let's just do it. That's what this feels like.
So that's where I was getting at, right? Was like, I trust Tom Taylor. When he stabs Bruce, I was legitimately shocked. Did not see it
There
coming.
was a moment where he did it where I was like, is this real? Is Bruce having a vision? Is he terrified it's going that badly? And
it's like
this
paranoia.
Is a fear?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, this is happening. This is what this book's doing now.
And then to hit with those fantasy tropes, right? It's the tyrant that's hiding in disguise, waiting. Chaos is a ladder, and it's seeming like Cal has orchestrated this with someone else.
Which is why then I go back to maybe Zala is in on it. maybe they are working on this together, right?
Yeah. So I have to go back and read. Did we see her come in, or was it just a vaguely?
We saw her in the sky. I think. I don't think we saw like there wasn't a lot of her speaking around like that. You know, I could see the swerve being that Clark is the evil one and Zala is actually completely innocent.
Right.
I could see that being the way this goes. And you know, we see Zala with Wonder Woman in this, and they want to like be together and stop their sides from going to war. And maybe like, yeah, if someone is playing this and wants a war to happen, if that is Cal, if it is someone else, then like yeah, all this is going on. But you could, I mean, there's definitely just throwing concepts into a blender.
All
and
this is
doing...
over. You know, we haven't even mentioned the fact that this issue we're introduced to Dick Grayson. So we have a Batman replacement ready and waiting.
Yeah. I mean,
I kind of love this saying it all like this just sounds like a mess, but when I'm reading it,
it's
works.
executed well.
It feels cohesive.
Well, I mean, I don't know why they would. Maybe he's got amnesia or something, but for some reason, I can see Taylor being ballsy and having the Kents name him Clark, so that Bruce is actually Clark.
Yeah,
I think it'll be he needs a new identity, like to go undercover, like less like amnesia and that, but more.
No,
he needs to go by a different name.
You know, fantasy trope, right? He is a bastard. He has to take on a different name because he's a threat to the kingdom. You know, so
I'll take your word that that's a trope. I don't know that, but
well, I mean, stuff like that's Prince and the Pauper, right? Like that goes back to fantasy type stuff. So, but yeah, no, this is completely wacky in the best way. Because again, I want to hate it, but I trust Taylor. Right?
As much as I'm like, oh no, more evil Superman stories. I'm like, oh, it's all right. Sometimes he's done the worst evil Superman story that can be done, and not worse as in quality, but worse as in objectively terrifyingly evil Superman.
Right.
He's already done that, so he can't do any worse.
Right. This seems like the anti-Superman in that for what we've kind of seen is that it seems like Cal is this compassionate person, right? But this is also, he was raised to be a king over people. This is Superman without the Kents.
I'm laughing a little bit because it's just dawning on me that this story is that Batman is going to be the true Superman and that he's raised by the Kents and is going to be the hero of the story, and Cal is the evil prick.
Well,
so what we're learning here is Batman is better than Superman.
No,
it's not just that he's better than Superman. He's a better Superman than Superman.
Bruce Wayne's not even the best Batman. Number one. All right, so let's chill.
But he might be the best Superman.
Nah. John is still Superman. All right. But no, this is just the tie that Superman is who he is because of his humanity, how he was raised.
It's essentially pointing out that he needs the Kents to be Superman,
right? And that just him being Kryptonian, which is a concept that I love because I feel like in a lot of the Superman pop culture, especially of late, and even Bendis cares much more about Superman as Kryptonian than Superman is actually Clark Kent. And I feel like Taylor is taking the alternative path that, like, yes, he's from Krypton and that's part of his heritage, but he is who he is. He is Superman.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, as much as this is doing the evil Superman trope, I guess at this point, it's in a way that's kind of a love letter to Superman, in a way of like, no, this isn't Superman because he doesn't have the Kents. This is what makes Superman. So it is in a perverted kind of way. No, this is a Superman you've done right, as opposed to evil Superman. So that's
right,
not
and it's not even just because he's royalty. It's how they treated them when they got there, right? Like from all we've seen, and it was mainly there's a story from Alfred, was that the elves were like, kindly, and they helped out, right? And they were fair, and so if Clark was raised in this privilege and he never had to feel the consequences for stuff, how would that change him?
Really interesting. Again, it'll be coming down to the Kent's impacts on Superman, or in this case on Batman. But this Batman was kind of a tyrant. He locked a lot of people, locked them all up.
Right, in the name of safety, right?
Right. And I'm assuming this is going to have the Kents teach him better morals to be a better person, right?
Well, because Alfred already called him out on that, on his paranoia.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, if the Kents are there, you know, and this is his tie more to humanity, then, you know, because he was up in the castle. Despite being the bastard, not realizing it, you know, he was the, what's that called? Like on Game of Thrones when Robert and Stark and Ned went to go live with Jon Arryn.
Fostering hostages.
Is that what it is?
I think fostering is the official term.
Okay, but yeah, they go learn the ways. And that's kind of what Bruce was doing, and it seems like his own paranoia has shaped that because of the lack of his parents and whatever, and thinking he was only merely a human in the presence of these gods, you know, and he had to keep them safe. So I trust it. If this was any other creator, I might have thrown the book across the room, despite the very nice, you know, Harley and Ivy stuff at the beginning.
I love that it was long
this is one of the books I read in a paper copy. I saved it to read in a paper copy because I went to pick them up today. And I got to that page and I just went, God damn it, and like literally flapped the book down. I was like, damn it, Taylor.
I love that the Ivy and Harley stuff was there to lull Matt into a false sense of ecstasy, and then
no, Tom Taylor is, I like to think, aware of us a little bit, and you know, he did that for me. He didn't want to turn me into the Hulk, you know, so
best soften him up first.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, super powerful Ivy is always good to see, right? Like her being able to hold Wonder Woman there just with the vegetation. It kind of not that she was talking down to her, but you know, she was talking from a point of superiority. Like, all right, calm down. Like, I can go toe to toe with you.
I just can't wait to see how you know, what the Kite Man's like in this. I mean, kites did exist in medieval times, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, good.
That puts him, dude. If he can figure out how to fly with a kite, that puts him on the equal level with the elves.
I just want to see him jumping off like the top of a castle.
All right, that's right. Dark Knights of Steel. Matt, what are you giving it?
What do I give this one? I'll give it 8.5. The art is also fantastic. I don't think we talked about Poochry enough, but yeah, it's good.
Okay, Connor?
Yeah, I know this is high, but I love this book, and I've been a mark for this book since they bloody announced this. It's not really surprising, but I'm gonna give it a 9. It's stupid and wild, and I love it.
My rating is, I mean, I'm not as high because I mean the fantasy stuff doesn't obviously appeal to me as much. I'm liking the mishmash of things. So 7 for me, but I'm glad you two are super into it.
I see what you did
there. But I mean, it's given me material to prod Matt with evil Superman jokes and things. So I mean, on that alone, it deserves some credit and merit. So
it's evil.